One thing I get asked a lot about is how to build an effective practice routine and how to get the most out of the time that you have. It'd be nice if we all had 4 to 5 hours a day to practice, but unfortunately that's just not realistic for most of us. So you want to make sure you're trying to get the most out of your practice time, however much time that is. Now, building an effective practice routine is different student to student or player to player. Some people like to have an extremely disciplined approach to their practice time, and some people like to keep it a little more free and open so that they can practice what they want that day. Both are good approaches, and you have to find what works best for you. Now, having said that, a couple general suggestions I have for building an effective practice routine is to try to split up your time so that you're practicing multiple things. So let's say you have an hour to practice in a day. You don't want to spend the entire hour practicing one single thing. You want to try to switch it up. So here are 3 things I would strongly suggest incorporating into your practice routine. 1, starting off with a warm-up and technique exercise, and a great way to do this is to use the metronome. So you can start off with either an exercise or a scale, or you could switch that up day to day, but what I would suggest doing is start with a nice slow tempo like this, and take your exercise or scale and go through the different rhythmic subdivisions. So I'm going to start with quarter notes. Again, it's warming up the fingers, but staying on beat with quarter notes is surprisingly difficult. So then you can take the exercise and go through the different rhythmic subdivisions. The next thing I suggest is always have a song that you're working on that is pushing and challenging you in some way. It definitely helps keep it fun and rewarding with your practice time. Let me know in the comments which songs you're currently practicing to push and challenge yourself. The last thing I suggest, which I find a lot of people don't spend much time on, is improvising. Improvising over backing tracks works on so many aspects of your playing. You're working on your rhythm and your timing, your technique, synchronizing the hands together. It works on your theory knowledge, whether you're using something like the pentatonic scale or more advanced scales. I truly think that you don't really know a scale until you can improvise with it. And remember, the most important thing with practicing is consistency. So even if you have busier days through the week, still try to pick up the guitar for 10 to 15 minutes. It's still going to help you progress and get better over the long term.